Matt Coates here alongside Jacob Irons after the Hyannis Harborhawks' first loss of the season here on Lowell Park against the Cotuit Kettleers. A tough loss here, Jacob. What did you see from this team?
So a team that won, had fight, and once again continued to stay hot with the bats. It was early in the second inning that they were able to plate their 2 runs of the day, but then it was ultimately some quiet bats down the back end. They came knocking on the door into the 8th, and really that was about the extent of the bats for the Harborhawks. But they have a huge opportunity tomorrow to go back home and be in front of an Orleans team that is on a little bit of a slide currently, but as of tonight, it's just couldn't find that big hit with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, losing a game by a score of 4-2, clearly not as much offensive explosion as we have seen earlier in this young season. However, the pitching staff still got it done. Starter Joseph Broyles went and pitched, only allowed 2 runs, neither of them earned, coming on a long ball after an error with 2 outs already. What did you see out of him and the rest of the staff?
If I'm an MLB scout, I'm circling Joseph Broyles and highlighting his name, putting it in bright orange and being like, this is the guy I want to look out for. Because it's one to do it one time, but then to do it a second time, to be as masterful as he was, is huge. I think Joseph Broyles is showing off why he's finding himself in the SEC next year. I think if he continues to play as well as he is up here on Cape Cod, he's a 2025er that I would have a lot of eyes on in going early in that draft. He continues to impress, and Aaron Savory, he's impressing as well. And then a guy you got to give credit for is Dominic Carbone. Didn't register an out his first outing up here on the Cape, but settled in nicely here. Did let in a run, but can't do anything about that. There's going to be runs that score from time to time. But really, overall, the pitching staff continues to look forward and be dominant in big spots.
Yeah, Jacob, in the Cape Cod Baseball League, if you only allow 4 runs over the course of a game, you expect to win a lot of those matchups, especially with such a good offense like the Hyannis Harborhawks have. However, they're going to flush this loss, move on, a great start to the season. They'll be home tomorrow night at McKean Park, hosting last year's Eastern Division champions in the Orleans Firebirds. We're going to send it over to Josie Broyles with head skipper Mitch Karraker.
Sideline reporter Josie Broyles here with manager Mitch Karraker. Tough competition here today. What were some factors that you think really contributed to the loss today in today's game?
I think Cotuit threw the ball really well. Offensively, we really couldn't get anything going, and we had some opportunities, and we didn't capitalize on them. And so I think that was tough. And then they scratched a couple there on some of our mistakes, and unfortunately, we weren't able to finish. But we'll be back at it tomorrow.
We saw you put John in towards the end of the game. What were some other adjustments that you made when you saw that the Hawks were falling short?
Yeah, I think, John's been going really, really good. And we gave Steve the start tonight to see what he could do. He's been taking some really, really good BP and had a couple tough at-bats tonight. And so we thought, let's give John a chance in a big moment. And for whatever reason, it just didn't work out tonight.
How do you think you're going to address the problems that you saw that happen today with the players, but also motivating them to keep playing their best game?
Yeah, I think we're in a good spot. I think the guys feel good about where we're at. Hitting kind of comes and goes in this game. We need to be a little bit more consistent on the defensive front. I thought our pitchers did a really good job. I think Dom had a couple of bobbles there at the end, but he was much better than his first outing, and so that was encouraging. If we can just continue to build on that and clean up the fundamentals a little bit, we'll be okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you.